It's official. It's been 1 month since the NBA season has popped off, and it's been lit. There's a lot of stories about these young cats trying to come up in the game. The rookies that were balling out. Teams are struggling that we're like confused about and not understanding why they're dysfunctional. Surprise teams in the East. You know my team, the Dub Nation. We're out here winning. So go ahead and kick it with us for the next 30 minutes. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe, like the videos, and just chill for about the next 15, 20 minutes. We got a jam-packed show, so stay tuned. Bless.
All my life, sacrifice, hustle, pay the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life I've been grinding all my life. Look, all my life, been grinding all my life. Sacrifice, hustle, pay the price. Want a slice, got to roll the dice. That's why all my life I've been grinding all my life. Look.
What up, what up, what up, what up? Welcome to the Ball Don't Lie podcast. This is your boy Dexter, your host, the one and only. Welcome back to another show. It's been a minute, I know. I've been stuck with some other situations, but I'm glad to be back now full time. And the NBA has been great. I can't complain. It's been a month in. I know for the Laker fans out there, y'all kind of salty right now, but I'm pretty sure y'all figure it out if y'all can stay healthy. So we're going to definitely dive in with teams that have been somewhat of a disappointment. I mean, on both sides of the conference, right? Like, it's kind of shocking, but it makes sense to me. NBA season, like, you know, it's been short this year as far as like the turnaround from last season to this year with COVID and all that, with the bubble situation, right? And then they had to speed off the next season, which was last year when the Bucks won. So it might make some sense. But we'll go ahead and speak about that in a second. And I'm glad, man. It's been a month now officially. Like the NBA has kicked off middle of last month in October. A lot of great games, some disappointments. I'm keeping an eye on the young cats, like the rookies. You know, the ones that are coming out of the G League that are panning out in the NBA. It's been a great story about those couple kids. And obviously, my team, Dub Nation, we're number one in the whole entire NBA. Even though we have 2 losses, hey, it's okay. We still hot right now. We got a good team. Can't wait for the Clay to come back. And James Wiseman. I mean, that's gonna be a scary team. Keep your eye on that. People out there hating on the Dub Nation, hating on the Warriors, hating on the light skinned cats, Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. We got our dogs out there. Jordan Poole, Garen Payne II. Yeah, y'all know. Otto Porter, etc. But like I said, I'm glad to be back. And if you're new to this channel, don't be shy now. Go ahead and subscribe. Hit the like button. You know, every time that I post a video, hit that bell notification. You're going to get alerts to your phone, to your laptop, yada, yada, yada. And we're on every single streaming platform out there on the audio route. You can catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, etc. We're on every single one. SoundCloud, you got it. And if you're on YouTube, you know the deal. If you're on IGTV, we're right there as well. And for all the socials, at Ball Don't Lie, BALLDNTLIE. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on TikTok, etc. You can catch me over there if you want to catch the vibes. So let's go ahead and just dive into it because there's a lot to talk about. We have a jam-packed show. So it's going to be crazy about certain stories that I'm about to speak upon. And some of them are head scratchers. So let's go ahead and dive into
news and notes from around association.
So the whole LeBron situation, some of y'all are aware, he has an abdominal strain in his abdomen area. So he might be out for like a week or two from that injury. So he's already about, I think, a week in as of right now. But based off of the previous trainer for the Lakers or someone close to the Lakers mentioned that it's a 4 to 8 week recovery. So if LeBron does come back, we do know that LeBron is not human. He's not me, you know. The guy has played this long and never had a major injury. But yeah, he's been injury prone since he came to LA. That is dearly noted. Like we're not gonna cap on that. Ever since he's been in the Lakers, I think besides his first year, every year after that, this guy has missed he missed a chunk of games. So we obviously want LeBron James back because the whole narrative, the whole notion is that the Lakers can beat anybody, right? They have the best team, right? On paper, right? So the whole LeBron, Russ, AD situation ain't working right now. but they haven't played together as many games, and it's going to take time to get that, get that engine running. Same thing with the Brooklyn Nets. Last year, when Kyrie and James Harden and KD all gamed up together, I don't think they played in more than like 12 or 13 games. In those games, they're all confused about who's going to have the ball and whatnot. So it will take time, especially if you're trying to put a super team together. So LeBron, 4 to 8 weeks. In my opinion, it might be less than that, but that's what the trainer is saying. Atlanta Hawks small forward DeAndre Hunter will undergo surgery on his tendon in his right wrist. So he's about to miss the next 2 weeks. The 2 months. The next 2 months with that with the surgery. And then the recovery. So hopefully young cat can get better, come back healthy, because they definitely do need him when they push towards the end of the season and go into the playoff when they're jockeying for position. The Celtics, this is mind-boggling. For all the Celtic fans out there, this is kind of confusing to me. Or maybe this is just hot takes. I don't know. There is supposedly some interest in Ben Simmons from the Boston side of it. And it makes sense because, like, they do need a point guard. The whole Schroeder situation or Marcus Smart playing the point ain't panning out. As you can see, they're struggling right now. As you can see, Marcus Smart, like a week ago, called up the team. He said, hey, pass the ball. Like, you getting double teamed. The teams know at the last second or the stretch, the last 2 minutes of the game, we all know who the ball is going to go to. So pass the ball this way, right?
It's like to play basketball. Every team knows we're trying to go to Jason and Jalen. And every team is programmed and studied to stop Jason and Jalen. And, I think everybody's scouting report is make those guys try to pass the ball. They don't want to pass the ball. And that's something that they're going to learn. They're still learning. We're proud of it.
So they're obviously having some rift, but that rift has been going on for years now, right? So that's duly noted. Ben Simmons, to me, it makes sense why the Celtics want him. But for what they're asking for, if you're going to trade for Ben Simmons, and I talked about this before, multiple episodes before, that they're asking for your whole entire franchise, right? Like, they're not bargaining Ben Simmons, right? They're asking for a truckload, right? They're trying to take the whole entire house, right? So if you're going to trade Ben Simmons to the Celtics, we all know Jason Tatum is not included because that's going to be shut down real quick. But they've been discussing about Jaylen Brown. So I don't know if it's a one-off. It could include some other players, but Jaylen Brown would have to be, and I'm assuming, yes, has to be in that package that's going to Philadelphia. So to me, either way, if Ben comes to the Celtics, you need to keep JB and Tatum. But if you have to get rid of one of those guys, and it has to be JP, it doesn't benefit Tatum. Because if you add Ben Simmons, yeah, he's a point guard, but he can't shoot, right? At least Jaylen Brown can create here and there. He's a solid shooter. He's a two-way player. But Ben Simmons is not consistent. We all know what happened in the playoffs. The dude doesn't average more than 14 points in his career as far as scoring. So the guy is not a threat. Obviously, it works better if he had bigs, but if you're playing with a wing guy like Jason Tatum, I don't know how that Ben Simmons will work, but like I said, it might be a story, it might be a whisper, or it might be a folktale. We don't know. But that's what the rumors are coming out of Boston, saying that they're interested in Ben Simmons. In the whole Sixers situation, if they do get Jaylen Brown, that is a great fit. It's a great fit for him. You imagine, you can have Seth Curry running the point or Maxey, either one. Then you have JV playing at the 2 or the 3, depending where you want to slide Danny Green or Harris. So to me, if they're getting Jaylen Brown, that's a win situation for Philly. But vice versa, the Celtics don't get any better with Ben Simmons unless they keep Jaylen Brown and Tatum. But if they lose Jaylen Brown, then definitely your talent structure doesn't change a bit. Like Jaylen Brown and Ben Simmons are not going to, how should I say this, not make your team better unless it depends where you go. But Jaylen Brown does go to Philly, then obviously will make your team better. And obviously Sixers, if they have Ben Simmons, it does make your team better than what they have now. But I'm just saying, if it goes to Boston, I don't see how that would work. But moving on. So the Ben Simmons saga, it still continues. They're going back and forth with this rift. Like I said, Ben is playing, like what he's doing, he's trying to orchestrate a trade to get out of here. So in order to do that, he's playing the cards. The guy is now saying that he has mental issues, so he cannot be with the team. Okay. Then the team said, okay, you got mental problems. We have in-house doctors with the organization. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go see my own doctors, not yours. Oh, really? You want to see your own doctors? Then we're going to go run that back and find. Sorry, cut that out. We're going to find you for each game or each practice if you want to use your own outside third-party doctors. So that's the problem right now that's going on in Philly. And like I said, this is not looking good for Ben Simmons at all. I don't know what you do at this point. Philly is over here being stubborn as well. They're trying to literally not sabotage the guy's reputation, but in the sense they're trying to play both sides of the fence. Yeah, they're cool in his face. At the same time, they're saying all this other stuff about Ben Simmons. So, like I said, that saga will continue. I don't know who's going to budge first, but obviously when news break about what happens with Ben Simmons, I'll be here to break that stuff for you. The Warriors right now are, 11-2? They lost to, the Charlotte Hornets in Charlotte. So this is actual first road trip outside of California. So all the games they played were in the state of California. Even though they went on the road, they were in California. And most of them I think they had like a 10 or 9 game stand in San Francisco. So they've been playing great. Keep an eye on the Warriors. Right now, they're number 1 in the West. And they're going to be a scary team when they get a full team as far as Klay Thompson and James Wiseman. So keep an eye on that. And then speaking about Jaylen Brown for the Celtics, will be out in the next 2 weeks or 1 to 2 weeks around there with a hamstring strain. So his hammy right now ain't working for him. And I know it's not easy to play with that hamstring issue. We all know what's going on in the NFL. A bunch of them are just falling like flies with the hamstring situation. So, yeah, Jaylen Brown will be out for a little while. The Portland Blazers are having issues in-house. So the owner, Jody Allen, and I'm reading this right now. Jody Allen has launched an investigation into the president of basketball operations, Neil O'Shea, for a workplace misconduct. So there's been reports that have been coming out, I'll say, the last 3 weeks or so to a month. So even when the beginning of the season came up, I heard a little whispers about the same stuff that's going in Phoenix with the owner, what's going on with both teams with the Suns in the Mercury. We heard the same thing that's going on in Portland, but instead this is actually an EZEC that's having issues. So we're going to see. I mean, they're conducting their own investigation itself. And it's going to be interesting because right now we have a lot of issues with upper management and what they're doing. And I'm pretty sure the NBA ain't playing around. They're going to conduct their own investigation as well. So let me go ahead and try to read this statement that the Portland Blazers has posted on their Twitter account just recently. The Portland Trail Blazers organization was recently notified of concerns around a workplace environment by non-player personnel at the practice facility. In this response, we immediately engaged with the firm that was significant experience in the area to conduct a full, fair, independent review into concerns and will take appropriate action based on its outcome. While we cannot comment on this pending matter, we are committed to continue to build an organization that positively impacts our colleagues, our communities, and the world in which we live and play for. The Trailblazers organization. This is the Twitter account. So, obviously, they're taking this stuff serious. We all know nowadays you can't do nothing crazy no matter what position you hold in profession. It doesn't have to be in the NBA. It can be in college, school, your workplace. This is unacceptable. So, we're going to see. When the investigation does come out, best believe I'm going to be here because we don't need guys like this, with the workplace misconduct. Now, I want to know more about that in detail, so we'll go ahead and dive into that later on when the stuff does surface. Moving on. The NBA and the NBA Player Association are now recommending that all players, coaches, front office personnel who are in Tier 1 should receive their booster shot. If they received a J&J vax at least 2 months ago, or Pfizer or Moderna 6 months ago, should get their vaccination or get the booster shot, they're suggesting this by December 1st. So they want the whole NBA players who've been vaccinated 6 months ago, if you're Pfizer or Moderna, to get a booster shot by December 1st. And if you had the J&J at least 2 months ago, to get your booster shot as well. I don't know how that's going to hold water. to be honest. There's already rift about who's not vaccinated, who is. We've seen the whole drama with the Aaron Rodgers situation, throwing shade at Kyrie Irving. Kyrie talking about, I'm not going to get vaccinated. Till this day, he's still absent from the team. So to add another shot, I'm pretty sure some players might do it. Majority might do it, actually. But it's just another feather, to overturn. I don't know how this is gonna continue to be doing this, because after the booster shot, they might recommend another one. This might turn into like a flu season situation where you got to get shots every 6 months to a year. So we'll see what happens. They want this done by, I think, December 1st or December 6th, but sometime beginning early next month. Speaking about vaccines or COVID, Nikola Vujicic. I pretty much butchered his name, but Vujicic, who plays for the Chicago Bears as center, has been placed under COVID protocol. So he's gonna miss at least a couple games, 3-4 games. He is vaccinated. That I did definitely check into. He is vaxxed, so he might miss 3, 4, 5 games around there. So we'll see what happens with the Bulls during the West Coast trip. So we'll see what happens going forward. So Vujicic is the first NBA player to contract COVID. We've been a month into the season, so this ain't gonna be the norm. Let's actually run that back. This is probably gonna be the norm as far as players contracting COVID, and they're gonna be put into COVID protocols or health and safety protocols by the NBA. So wouldn't be shocked if big names down the road would have to miss crucial games, and this might go into the playoffs. You might have players miss games because of this. So this is definitely going to be a concern. COVID is still here. It didn't disappear. So, and if now we're more comfortable going back into the communities, back into the public sectors with people engaging and shaking hands, yada yada, this is going to be the norm. It's going to happen. So I ain't surprised it happened so soon in the NBA, but it's going to happen. And with the whole Kyrie situation, the mayor-elect from New York, Eric Adams, there was rumors about him trying to overturn or change the way how to implement the COVID rules or the laws in the state of New York, or the New York City. Sorry, but the New York City metro area. And everybody thought that if he becomes the mayor, and obviously he did win this past election, that he would change the rules for, to better, I guess, Kyrie in that sense. But then he just came out recently saying that he's not going to do that. So the mayor-elect Eric Adams said last week that the New York City will not change the COVID-19 vaccination mandate that's currently prevents Kyrie from playing any games in the city of New York. And that's the metro area. So Brooklyn is in that area. Brooklyn is one of the, the boroughs in New York. So I don't know. The Kyrie situation is looking more sticky and more of a concern at this point, because reports coming out there that he was banking on this. He was banking that the mayor would change that, so he at least can play his 41 games at home. But now he's coming out saying that he's not going to change the mandate. So that leaves Kyrie back in limbo, and I'm not sure what's going to happen going down the road. That is so much of a confusion about what Kyrie wants to do, but he's holding his stance. And he's saying he will not get vaccinated. So if he's not going to get vaccinated, the NBA is not going to be lenient to, okay, Kyrie, you're Kyrie, you don't play. So I don't know. We'll see what happens with Kyrie. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's son. This is a report that just came out recently. His son named Adam has been sentenced 6 months 6 months to jail for slamming a blade into a neighbor's head. So that's concerning. That person survived, but the reports are coming out that both of them were fighting over trash cans that led to a dispute, and that led to a physicality, and it led to a blade to the head. So that's crazy to hear. Prayers and thoughts to Kareem's son, man, because that's a tough situation. 6 months. I hope the other guys are okay. And right now, the NBA is the NBA is looking into tampering probes that's going on right now, or happened in the summer, with the Chicago Bulls trying to get, Lonzo Ball, and the Miami Heat trying to get Kyle Lowry. So the NBA is definitely, they already began investigations. At this point, they're in an advanced stage. So we'll see what happens. But there's rumors coming out already that the league office in New York ain't playing around. They're going to hit these teams with $10 million fines. You know, and there's other things that can happen to you as well. They're talking about, let me see let me get this down quick. Yeah, so punishments that can happen can fine up to $10 million for teams, possibly of suspending team execs, forfeiting draft picks, even player contracts being voided. So if it gets that serious for Adam Silver in his office, yeah, man, this could be a big thing. But I don't think they'll void Lonzo Ball's contract or Lara Coward's contract at all. But they might get fined $10 million for tampering. So the NBA is definitely in the advanced stages of that. Former player, and I'm going to post this video right here for you guys to see, and this is disturbing. Okay, former NBA player and ex-Chicago Bull player Corey Benjamin, I think he was drafted like in 98 or 99, daughter, who was 14 years old, was caught on video. And this went viral over Twitter and Instagram, TikTok. Was caught on video for sucker punching a couple girls. And this is like outrageous. I mean, you're a big girl. Like, she's bigger than the other 3 girls. And sucker punches them from behind for some reason. So, yeah, obviously we don't need that in sports. I'm pretty sure that Corey Benjamin didn't raise his daughter to go beat up little girls in tournaments. You know, but they definitely have to ban that girl for sure. So that's crazy to even see. John Wall has no plans in returning at all. Like, he said, deuces, I'm going to just chill. And the team obviously, the team was like, yeah, hell yeah. Take a break while we figure out how to get rid of you and your contract. So John Wall has no plans in returning and playing for the Rockets this season and probably won't be able to play anywhere else due to his contract and how hefty it is. So who wants a John Wall contract? Raise your hand. Yeah, nobody. So he's going to be there for a while. Some team out there desperately will probably take it. You know, and that'll be highway robbery if it happens. Oh, Lord. But if it does happen, he'll be traded. If not, he'll be pretty much sitting at home collecting his paycheck. And big up to Steph Curry, Wardell, Stephen Curry. Passes Ray Allen a couple nights ago for the most threes made combined season and playoffs and finals. Whatever you want to talk about. Combined three-pointers in entire season, playoff, post-game, whatever you want to call it. He has broken that record, and he's only 31 years old. And he has, like, what, another 7-8 years to play? Maybe 4 years in his prime, 3 years in his prime? It's outrageous what Steph Curry is doing. It's, like, literally not – I don't think that will ever be touched. Literally, I don't think that record will ever be touched by any person, ever. So big up to Steph Curry for that. And the Wizards are playing at a whole different level. The level they're playing at is mind-boggling to a sense because, like, their team is a bunch of role players that are not really meshing with Bradley Beal in a sense. I watched a couple games. It seems like there's a bunch of isolations, you know, blah, blah, blah. But Montrezl Harrell is beasting. Kuzma over here showing that, hey, he's showing the world, like, hey, I'm better than what y'all really thought. Bradley Beal is playing pretty good. The rotation is solid. Hey, man, they're surprising people. They're right now, they're number one team in the East. I don't expect them to be there, but they're definitely a playoff team. And they're coming here to wreak havoc on anybody. So, big ups to the Wizards organization. They traded Russ to get those quality players, and it panned out for them. And obviously, on the other end of the spectrum, the Los Angeles Lakers, they're struggling with the Russell situation. And like I said before, you had a chance to get Buddy Hield, and then instead they wanted Russell Westbrook. And when I say they, this was not upper management. They had a package ready to go to SAC to get Buddy Hield to offload Montrezl and KCP and Kyle Kuzma, and then I think there's another player coming from Sacramento with the Buddy Hield the package. So LeBron pauses and says, hey, hold on 1 second. We want Russell Westbrook, the triple-double machine. We want him. And look at now. They can't spread the court. Melo is playing terrific right now. But how long can he sustain that? Big games, would he show up? Players, would he show up? It's going to be tough. Because you know it's a black hole. Melo gets the ball, it's going up. There's no passing the ball. We know Melo's game. But we're not spreading the court because of Melo. As far as the Lakers, we're not spreading that court for them. So we'll see what happens with the Russ situation. I'm definitely going to be watching every single Laker game just to keep an eye on that. But the NBA is lit right now. Like, I'm enjoying it. I'm so glad we're back to the fans being in the stands, the trash talking, the rustle and tussle between Rudy Gobert and Miles Turner and etc. You had Jokic doing a dirty play in a sense to the Morris twins. It's lit, man. I'm enjoying it, so I hope y'all enjoying it as well. Like I said, if you're still kicking it with me right now, we're 26 minutes into this episode. Man, go ahead and subscribe if you're new to this. And if you're not new to this, you've been watching this, I appreciate it. I really do. Can't thank y'all enough, like I always tell you guys. And we'll be back for more content for sure. I'm going to be breaking down the next episode with some, NBA games and statistics and stuff like that, and certain players and who's in the MVP race and who's the rookie of the year and defensive player of the year and yada, 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 and who has the hot edge and who to watch. So I'll break all that stuff in the next episode for sure, so stay tuned. And for the ones out there, like I said, go ahead and hit us up, subscribe, let us know. Until then, man, y'all be safe. Peace.